classic hero, something that I hadn't seen in a long time on film, with a character who can, you know, for lack of a more eloquent way to describe it, he can throw a punch, tell a joke, and kiss a girl. And that was really exciting to me, and I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out, you know, who wouldn't want to play that for a movie, let alone maybe 2 or 3.
Outstanding. You know, and Blake, looking out on this crowd, I think you can tell the passion that this property and a lot of the DC Comics properties stir in people. It must be interesting to step into this. It must be
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I actually came to Comic-Con a few years ago and got to walk through the crowd and take pictures with everyone. I'm excited to go to the Harry Potter panel next, too.
And then, Peter, you know, one of the things that is bundled into the fabric of this story and this franchise is things like fear and will and courage. It makes
large heads.
What's that?
Large heads.
And large heads, yes. Tell us about your large
heads.
Tell us about that.
About the large head.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
I'm a size 60. If you guys know hat sizes, that's pretty big. I don't know, I didn't really realize I was going to have a large head until I had one on me. It was just an incredible thing to do. I mean, being in the kind of makeup that I was in this film, and, you know, it's a whole other kind of acting. It really opens up all sorts of things that you never thought you would catch yourself doing, you know? And it's a total blast. I had more fun doing this movie than I really have had in a very, very long time.
And you're, of course, talking about Hector Hammond's cranium actually physically gets bigger as the movie goes on. How big does it get?
It's pretty big. Pretty big, people. I mean, not like, you know, that, but big. Heavy. Very heavy.
And then, Mark, you know, in this movie, you have a character who's going to go in different directions down the line. In this film, he's got a slightly different role. Do you plan ahead? Do you have to try to hardwire in the future stuff into the movie now, or you kind of play it in the moment?
No, I think you have to, you take what you're given in the moment. I think if, whatever happens to him further down the line, I think if you know that the Secret Origins comics, his job is to be Hal's mentor and put him through his paces, and he kind of earns his grudging respect by the end of the movie. Whatever happens later, that's later.
I told you were going to feel like Bono up here. What did you think when you came out?
Say that again, sorry?
Remember I told you were going to feel like Bono when you walked out in front of the
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. Thank you very much for the reception. Thank you very much. So do you.
So Martin, the essential question right off the bat with a film like this is tone. What can you tell us about the tone of the film?
Well, the tone of the movie is it's light, it has a lot of humor, but also I think the relationships between all the characters are very real. We've tried to keep the action also very real, and tonally I think there's a lot of humor, clearly with Ryan Reynolds and with Blake and so forth. That's very apparent, and no, it's just a terrific entertainment, I think, and it's my first superhero movie. I've never done one before, unless you count James Bond as a superhero. But he's nothing like Green Lantern. That's all I can say. And particularly a superhero that goes to another world, the world of Oa. I'm sure all of you know more than I do about it. But anyway, it's a totally. I think it's great fun, but I also think it's a terrific adventure as well.
You know, and also, of course, with any superhero property, the costume is key, and it's a vital issue. It can go either way. It can make or break a movie. Talk about with the costume in this one, some of the decisions you guys made. Yeah, Mark.
Oh yes, yeah, the costume. You've obviously all seen the costume on the Entertainment Weekly, and so it's always a work in progress. But of course, we have the black and green that. We all know about the costume. We've lost the white gloves. We just felt it looked far cooler and far more interesting. And there are also, although in some ways it's hard to see on the picture itself, but there are certain lines which we decided our costume, which of course evolves from the ring, that it's more like a skin on Green Lantern as opposed to a costume. And that was the concept of it. And all the lines are lines of musculature, which was our designer came up with. And if you look at a physiological picture of of muscles in the body, of course, all of those lines are very true to that. So a lot of thought's been given to it. It is a work in progress. I think it's really cool. And Nyla Dixon, who is our designer, she was on Lord of the Rings. I think it's done a fantastic job, and it will eventually look incredibly cool.
You know, Donald, one of the things about this superhero film, this particular film, is that it goes off the planet. Most of the superhero films we see are confined to the alleys of Gotham or maybe the skyscrapers of New York. Talk a little bit about that as a challenge and as an opportunity.
Well, the opportunity is obviously a great one because we're going to take the audience into the center of the universe, to the planet of Oa, and they'll see the 3,600 Green Lanterns. So I think as an opportunity, what it does for a superhero movie is it takes you into a new realm. As my partner Greg Berlanti always said, it's part space opera as well. I think, though, the challenges are many. Obviously, we had to create an entire world for this planet of Oa, and we have many teams of artists. We have a great production designer. His name is Grant Major. He also did Lord of the Rings. And we have great creature designers. We obviously will feature many of the famous and well-known Green Lantern characters. Kilowog's going to be there. You're going to see Kilowog. And you saw a little bit of Toma Ray here, and you're going to see, besides Sinestro, another large grouping of great Lantern characters that you all know.